So this is earlier morning, and last night it snowed a little bit, and then the temperature dropped a bit, and supposed to rise this afternoon. But you can see the ice is still here, thin, it's melting. So, and I can hear a lot of birds singing, so I know that spring is coming. I am being thankful. And this is the English version of what I talk about the interview of Meghan, Harry with Oprah Winfrey. So I had it in the Chinese version, but of course, since I posted the Chinese version, something came up. The Buckingham Palace released a statement. So I'm going to include this in my talk this morning. And it will be quite different from my Chinese version. So if you know Chinese, watch my Chinese version, it's quite a few things different. First of all, I thank all my subscribers. I'm very thankful to have all my subscribers watching it. So first of all, before I say anything, I am feeling blessed. This type of interview is aired throughout US, Canada, UK, Australia, all the Commonwealth. Those who produce this interview and those who watch this interview, millions of them on TV, they have no fear of being arrested. They have no fear of anti-government persecution. Because in this Western world, which we are a democratic world, criticizing the head of state or their family, some may find it not tasteful, but still, it is not a criminal offense. I don't have to afraid that the police or some secret security will knock at my door, put me in jail if I watch this interview, listen to this interview, or respond to this interview. And I feel blessed living in a country. I am free to express my opinion, and I am free to have many views and opinion on some issues. Secondly, I do have to say, for the royal family and, the Queen is the Queen of Canada, not just the Queen of United Kingdom. For me, I'm totally agnostic about this royal family and the monarchy. I'm not a monarchist. I'm not a Republican. And I haven't decided it. Frankly, at this point in time, maybe I will change my mind. I really don't care at this point in time. Let them be whatever, let them be. This system, especially in Canada, has been so entrenched that it is difficult to even talk about change. Forget about change. Just talk about it is difficult. And also, I have to say, I am a big fan of many British imperial, royal family, kings and queen, that kind of show. I like watching Victoria, Downton Abbey, especially Netflix, The Crown, the movie, The Queen. They have very good script writer. I really like Julian Fellowes, really, really great novelist, script writer, and making all these wonderful, I do have to say, wonderful shows. And talk about the interview with Meghan and Harry by Oprah Winfrey. I read from other sources, Oprah received $7.5 million for this 2-hour interview. So this is big name interviewing big names. When I watch it, I say, okay, I didn't watch the whole thing. Actually, maybe I watched 5 minutes of it. I just couldn't stomach it. Afterwards, I watch all the commentaries and you can watch everything online now. So I watch it later. not live. I'm watching a few very privileged class people. Okay, Harry, born as a prince, privilege. Yes, because of his mother and all that is personal tragedy. But still, he never need to worry about one day of food, clothing, shelter, how to pay the bills in his whole life. Okay, so he's a term we call aristocrat, which in this world is getting less and less and less and less important right now. And he's born a privileged class, the privileged of the privileged. So being interviewed. So, okay. And when I start watching it, the reason I have to just stop it after a few minutes is Meghan, married into a privileged family, was complaining about the title of her son Archie. Why not her son does not have a title called the prince? If I have the title, if he has the title, then he's entitled to security paid by the taxpayer. Well, I don't know. There are a lot of millionaires, billionaires in this world. They pay for their own security. The security is not paid by the taxpayer. So we are talking about a privileged person asking for privileges. But whether he's entitled to or not, I don't know. I don't know anything about the rules of the royals. So, but that I find it incredible. Just darn incredible. And because this type of aristocratic view, they can see that because of the privilege, some classes, which are the majority of us, we are mostly included, are below them. So they need public funded protection. And well, interesting, they now live in the US. So, well, so you choose to live in the US, whether they claim that they got kicked out or not. That's besides the point. I know for Meghan Markle, she's a half black, so race could be a problem, and I can understand that. I truly could. But for a lot of people in the US, they always talk about white privilege. So it is a bad thing to have a white privilege because they are more entitled to healthcare, education, and all that. It may well be very true. I never dispute that. But for her now, after marrying into a royal family, she demanded title, which American, the revolution tried to get rid of the whole aristocracy. Now she wants title for her son. I can't find any words for it. And of course, the issue of racism was raised. She claimed that somebody in the royal family was speculating how dark the skin will this baby be. Well, racism is definitely an issue, not just in the US, in the UK, or even in Canada. But if you think about it, for the Englishman, color of the skin may or may not even be the issue. If you think about the English or UK history, you think about how the Anglo-Saxon, the English, discriminated against the Scots. And that's why we now have a Scottish Parliament. And on top of that, it's still around the Irish, potato famine, which I talked about in other of my videos. And the Irish still, the Northern Ireland saga still going on for marriage's sake, for the Irish Catholics. For the Catholics, marrying into a Protestant family is considered a mixed marriage. It has nothing to do with the color of the skin. So Oprah Winfrey and Meghan tried to have color of the skin as a factor of discussion. Oh, it may well be true there are discrimination, but discrimination is not just the color of the skin. It is religion, it is tradition, and in the UK, aristocracy itself is a kind of discrimination. So I think many American or North American viewers forgot this aristocracy tradition in the UK or in Europe. And of course, right now in Europe, this kind of royal and all that is getting less and less. And one thing about the interviewer, Oprah Winfrey, I remember in 2018 when she received the Golden Globe Award, she made a speech. Of course, at that time, it was the height of the Me Too movement. And one phrase that she used a lot and still many people still use is your truth. Not the truth. It's your truth. So it is a very typical post-modern type of argument. Reality, the facts really doesn't matter. What matters is what you think about the issue. Your perspective is more important than the facts. So that's why in her Golden Globe Award speech, Oprah Winfrey stressed the phrase of your truth. She didn't use the term the truth, your truth. So what it means is it really doesn't matter what the reality is. It is how you think, what happened to you that matters. Of course, this is a very postmodern, and I really hope it is not how our court judges the people. And I really hope it is not how we view other people, only from our lens and our perspective, and everything else, they don't matter. That's how Buckingham Palace yesterday, or I should say last night, released a statement. It says the whole family is saddened to learn the full extent of how challenging the last few years have been between Harry and Meghan. The next line is important. The issue raised, particularly of race, are concerning. Of course, they do have the concern how the palace, the royal family is being accused by their own. While some recollections may vary, they are taken very seriously and will be addressed by the family privately. I think this is the essence of how we should treat any reports. It really doesn't matter about Harry or Meghan or any other things, anything from the news. Because it's not just how our memory varies, it is how our perspective varies. And this statement, this line, targets on the postmodern way of thinking. They take it very seriously, but our recollection, in another word, how we see things, how actually happened, may not be the way that you said it happened. That's why they have to take it seriously. But most of all, for Harry, Meghan, the Queen, etc., this is a private issue. They chose to live in the States. They chose their lifestyle. They chose how to spend their money. Above all, it was Meghan who chose to marry Harry. It is a private matter. To sang all these grievances in public, is it fair to the royal family who is known to say nothing? Does it mean that, like Oprah Winfrey, who has a better microphone or megaphone, can transmit the truth, while a family that they are known to say nothing has to stomach it? And that's something we all need to think about. The last line. Harry, Meghan, and Archie will always be much loved family members. So they open their doors. If you want to come back, feel free. You are still loved by us. And I have to say, the PR department of Buckingham Palace has to be the cream of the cream of the cream. A short, precise, to the point statement says a lot about how royalty, people with some stature, would do and would say. I'm glad such a short statement didn't say a lot, but it says plenty about what we should for our perspective. This short statement didn't clarify whether Harry and Meghan are telling the truth or exaggerating, but it definitely put a well-balanced perspective on this interview.